San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight against Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. The reigning World Series champion Texas Rangers get set to open up the Silver Boot Series in Arlington against the Houston Astros. You can catch that game coming up right after Extra Innings with Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Texas Rangers.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Whoever you are, however you may be listening, I appreciate you. As always, whether you're listening on 94.1 FM, on our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player at sasportstar.com, where you can listen across the country, or my favorite way and most interactive way to do it is on our YouTube, SA Sports Star on YouTube. Like, subscribe. You can comment along with the video. Jump into the bullpen here on Extra Innings like Fred Robert Casares Jr. says, "What's up, Pledge? And happy early birthday, buddy." Fred, I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, that is right. My birthday is coming up next Tuesday. I will be celebrating tomorrow because, I want to be free to recover and not have to work the next day or the day of or any of that other stuff. And I could take my birthday off, but, I love being here with you guys. So it's always good. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be out and about. I'm going to play some golf for my birthday out at the Golf Club of Texas. Thanks to Bo LaHue for having me out there. Get an early morning round in, then probably go hit some chispas at El Mirasol, put some nice little bass down for the night. They're, what is it? It's a seafood. It's their crab taquitos. Oh, God, so good. And then probably hit up the Root Pub tomorrow night. And that's where you'll catch me on my birthday. So, or at least celebrating my birthday. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Fred Records, Jacob Eric. Y'all are the best. Of course, we try to be here on Extra Innings with Pleasure, the most interactive show here in San Antonio. I like to communicate with all of you at all times, at any point in time. So if you want to jump into the YouTube channel, sasportstar.com, like, subscribe. You can always jump into the show by calling at 210-656-ESPN. That is 210-656-3776. If you want to call in, voice your take on something. There's tons to get into. The Final Fours this weekend. The women's Final Four starts tonight. And, of course, you get Rangers Astros Silver Boot Series opens up at the bottom of the hour right here on San Antonio Sports Star, so you don't got to go anywhere for that. It is interesting in terms of the Rangers and Astros, just the Rangers were rolling out of the pen. Then they have the Josh Young injury, and it goes from 6 to now 8 to 10 weeks. And I am still trying to kind of figure out what is happening with Houston. They have the absolute best starting ERA in Major League Baseball, under 1.5. Problem is their bullpen is the absolute worst, and they are 2-5 because of that. So make it make sense, especially when that's where you've kind of spent all of your money. But yeah, we'll have the Silver Boot Series for you, whether you're an Astros fan, whether you're a Rangers fan, but we will have the Rangers at the bottom of the hour because we are your home for the Texas Rangers. So Eric Nadell and crew will bring it to you. The place with the crab taquitos, for Robert Casares Jr. asking on our YouTube live feed. El Mirasol. They've got these great crab taquitos, and they're just mwah, perfection. And their chispas are fantastic as well. Rudolph Gonzalez getting in on the YouTube channel. And stay tuned because coming up at the end of the show, as we head into Rangers baseball, I'm going to have your chance to win a $50 gift card to 90 Proof Bar and Grill. 90 Proof Bar and Grill is right out by the Golf Club of Texas at Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch Road. You can stay tuned. And then when I say caller number, you could end up winning a $50 gift card to go check out 90 Proof Bar and Grill. That's where we held our after party after the golf tournament out there at the Golf Club of Texas. So I've got y'all all set up. But I've got questions for y'all as it pertains to the Spurs who get underway here in a little bit as well. I have, as you know, been a vocal proponent of breaking the mold of the old way of thinking of best player, best team, this, that, the other, when it comes to defensive player of the year. I believe Wemby is the best defensive player in the NBA right now. I believe the advanced stats show he is. The regular defensive stats show that he is. But he is individually great, and team defense is a completely different stat and category. And when you try and lump in the Spurs are 23rd in defense in the NBA, yeah, well, they're third when he is on the floor and dead last when he's off. Do the math. Singular is just horrific. And whether it's Wemby and this award, whether it was CJ Stroud and the MVP, rookies not winning awards or being considered for awards because they're rookies should have no bearing. They are still players in that league, and it is a league-wide award. I don't care that he will also be the Rookie of the Year. Hell, he could be Rookie of the Year, MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year. If he is that good at all of those things, he should win every single one of those awards. And I don't subscribe to the fact of we've always done things this way. It should always be done this way. It is idiotic in terms of just who we are as human beings. We're evolutionaries. We do get stuck in our ways in a sense, but we're always evolving, always changing, and always looking to be better. We're always updating our software. We didn't have computers, you know, 100 years ago. We didn't have the internet 40 years ago. We've made advancements that make our lives better. We should advance the way we think on giving awards out, and I do believe that Victor Wembanyama has proven to be great enough, and you're starting to get the groundswell. I played Draymond Green this week. I played Dennis Scott and Sam Mitchell on the NBA Network. You've heard other people discuss it at length, how great he is, and I think there is some coming around, and you've seen it with the changing of the lines. Yes, Rudy Gobert is far and away in Vegas the odds-on favorite to win it at minus 4,000, I think it is now. But the fact that Wemby has closed that gap, even with it jumping as high as it did, he's gone to like plus 750 now instead of plus 2,000. His 1,300 jump is greater than Gobert's 1,000 jump. So he has closed essentially the gap on him. And I think if he plays the way he did against Denver, he's got a rematch coming up against Joel Embiid, who scored 70 the first time that they played. If he can keep him in check in round two, do you think there's anything, and I want to ask y'all, that he can do down the stretch to help sway the voters to where he would be considered? I think he's first team all defense. That's going to go without saying in my mind, but I think he should win Defensive Player of the Year. He's earned it. And just because, he may get one a little bit later. Remember, Tim Duncan, as great as he was defensively, is the pillar of great defenses in San Antonio, never won a Defensive Player of the Year. So saying, it's too early for him, his time will come. These moments are fleeting. You never know when you get your next moment. So keeping someone from said moment over some arbitrary rule or made up fictional thing in your head that he's a rookie or he's going to have multiple chances at this. He likely will, but anything can happen. And just like with Tim Duncan, never won a Defensive Player of the Year award, and that was highway robbery. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. I also kind of want to know your Final Four thoughts. We've got it coming up. Women tonight. I'm going to be locked in. Caitlin versus Beckers. That's going to be incredible. See who gets the right to play South Carolina because, look, NC State, great run, phenomenal. We talk about Angel Reese. We talk about Paige Beckers. We talk about Juju Watkins. We talk about Caitlin Clark. There are so many great stars in women's basketball right now. We don't mention any of them, and yet the best team in women's college basketball is South Carolina, and I think that's pretty decent gap as well. They're 36-0 and likely going to win the championship again this year. They what Don Staley has built with that program is on par with what Pat Summitt did in the 90s with Tennessee and what Gino Auriemma did with UConn in the 2000s and 2010s. Like what Don Staley's doing there, she has just made a phenomenal program. And it's incredible to see what they're doing. But the game of the night's the nightcap, right? That's the one it has to be. Robert Cassara says, who do you think has the most pressure on between UConn and Iowa? I think it's probably Iowa. Iowa is under talented in terms of just stack the two teams on top of one another, and they've got the best and most recognizable face that has herself admitted she sees her legacy tied to winning a title. She wants to win a title. That's the goal. Like not making the Final Four, not making the title, winning it all. As for the men, it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to call my shot here. So Monday, I think it's going to be UConn Purdue in a battle of the ones because UConn has just been dominant and Alabama has made a great run. But I think Hurley and UConn dispatch of them, and finally UTSA gets their head coach, and Austin Clunch can finally start on the job here in San Antonio as he was named as the head coach and successor to Steve Henson here at UTSA, the assistant at Alabama. On the other side of things, Zach Edey, that size and the way that they've been shooting the ball from behind the arc, Purdue probably just too much for an 11 seed. NC State. So I think DJ Burns and that Cinderella story finally comes to an end. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Look, they haven't had, I mean the Dallas Cowboys, they haven't had a great offseason. It has been very blasé, and a lot of Cowboy fans are very, very upset about it. But is there a way that they can possibly change your perception on the way out? All that, plus I've got that 90 proof $50 gift card to 90 Proof Bar and Grill coming up after this right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we will have crowned a women's champion. She reigns supreme. We'll talk about how they did it.
Plus, the men get going tonight. Who will win it all? What will one shining moment look like? And hey, it's Masters Week. The Morning Huddle starts at 6.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax.
Touchdown!
a new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas, only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you. News is Get Right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-970-3199. That's 800-970-3199. 800-970-3199.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, historic rivalries tip off with shareable bites, and every shot you take is a game winner. All season long, you're ballin' with 29-degree beer, courtside seats, and scenic views. I mean, where else can you pair wall-to-wall hoops with hard-to-find whiskey? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Fletcher right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Coming up here in just a few minutes, I'm giving away that $50 gift card to 90 Proof Bar and Grill over off Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90, just down from the Golf Club of Texas. So stay tuned for that. But like I was talking about, how could the Cowboys possibly restore hope after what and most fans call a very, very blasé offseason. Well, I'm going to try and lay it out for you here. You're going to go into the draft, and hopefully they do this one move before the draft, but it's going to be very difficult. Look, it's hard. So I know a lot of people want to get rid of Dak Prescott. No succession plan in place, really. So it's hard to pull the ripcord on that and feel like you're in a very good place because only one team's happy at the end of the year. He's putting you in position to win in the playoffs, get to the playoffs, and have a chance. You have to roll with that until you have the succession plan in place, like you have with Dak with Tony Romo. He proved it. He took over, and that was it. So go get J.K. Dobbins. Solidify that run game just in case you don't find who you're wanting in the draft. There's high upside. It's going to be a little cost. You can get a return on investment there, I believe. Great back out of Ohio State. Injuries kind of plagued his time in Baltimore. Go get J.K. Dobbins. It makes sense. He checks the boxes in terms of what the Cowboys need and the upside versus cost price point. After that, trade back from the first round of the draft. If you trade out of the first round, cool. If you can trade back later in the first round, also cool. Get extra draft capital because this is a deeper tackle and offensive line draft. Now, when you get there, if your tackle's there, whether it's Moses or Guyton or Mims or Barton, take them. If you like Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, the center, take him. Then in the second round, make a move for Edgerrin Cooper. You need help at linebacker still. The dude's a freak. He's like Micah Parsons freak level in terms of his spark scores. Just his athleticism is off the charts. He can cover, he can rush, he can tackle, he goes sideline to sideline. There's speed there. Edgerrin Cooper out of A&M, I think, would be a great addition. You add him to Overshone, you add him to Eric Kendricks. It gives you some linebackers for the defense. And then you start to add your playmakers, whether it's running back, Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson. There are some later you can also get that I like, whether it's Isaac Guerendo out of Louisville, Blake Corum out of Michigan, Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin. There are some good backs in this draft that you can get. Marshawn Lloyd from USC, Ray Davis, Kentucky. You can find one of those guys on day 3 probably if you don't go get, the guy in Jonathan Brooks. And then find a receiver. There's a ton of receivers in this draft as well. You've got Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson, Lab McConkey, Troy Franklin out of Oregon, Jermaine Burton from Bama, who made plays, Keon Coleman, Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, the trio from Washington, Javon Baker from USC, Jerry Rice's kid, Brennan Rice from USC. Like, there are a lot of guys that are going to slip just because the amount of players that there are at that position. And then trying to find yourself a defensive tackle maybe later in the draft. I think at that point, you can check enough of the holes and boxes that you will feel more comfortable. Guys, we got Rangers coming up. Rangers, Astros, Silver Boot Series gets started. But since my birthday is on April 9th, if you're caller number 9 right now, 656-ESPN, 210-656-3776, you're going to get that $50 gift card to 90 Proof Bar and Grill over at Highway 90 and Lucky Ranch Road. I appreciate all of y'all for tuning into Extra Innings all week long. We'll see you again on Monday as we get ready for a national championship game here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
With 64 games in the books, UConn, Purdue, NC State, and Alabama now converge on Phoenix with just 2 more wins needed to claim the 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Tune in this Saturday to hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Final Four.
It's all come down to this, the 2024 Final Four, Saturday at 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items like the self-leveling green laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect Pass-Through Socket Set for $49.98, which you can only find at Lowe's. Shop Klein Tools in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Paid for by Jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm down here reporting from Main Street food trucks with some people all looking quite excited. Excuse